How do you carve out time for yourself and stay grounded when your schedule is super busy? Do you guys plan to have kids? Will you ever change jobs or go full-time to YouTube? What do you do if you feel totally unmotivated to work out, read, journal, practically anything? I think the biggest thing is please share your total earnings from social media. I got you. Any productivity or habit tips you have. Welcome to a cozy little evening in my life. I just got home from work a little bit ago, so tonight I'm just gonna take you with me as I wind down after working my 9 to 5 work day, but also answer all of your questions. I haven't done a Q&A in over a year, so I figured this is long overdue. So get cozy, grab your drink of choice, and let's hang out tonight. This video is for the real ones. I have some leftover taco meat, so I'm just gonna have some tacos, rice, and I'm also cutting up a cucumber. Also, it already is after 7 p.m. I kind of just chilled after getting home from work because your girl is really tired, but I'm just gonna get straight into the questions. I have all different categories written out that I've divided them into, which I'll try to put timestamps in case you wanted to skip around. The first category is relating to my personal life and relationships. I'm gonna start with this one because 2 people asked me, how are you? No, really, how are you? And how are you doing? Truly, I am so grateful for my life and all of the good things in it. But I feel like my mental health has kind of just been a little bit of a roller coaster lately. I'm kind of dealing with a little bit of burnout and also just not fully knowing what I'm doing with my life. So to be honest, I am kind of struggling with that. I feel like I'm a little bit stuck right now, but I'm pushing through it. Thank you for asking. That seriously means the world to me. The next question is, how did you and your husband meet? We actually met on Instagram. So long story short, we actually went to rival high schools, but we never knew each other, but we had followed each other on Instagram for a while because we just had mutual friends. In 2019, he swiped up on one of my stories and said that he really likes the things that I was posting because I was putting Bible verses on my stories. And I said thank you, and that was the last we talked. And then a whole year later, during COVID in 2020, I actually did a little trend on Instagram. And basically whoever liked the photo, you had to DM them and say, hey, it's your turn. I was bored, don't judge. But anyway, he was one of the people that liked the photo. And so I DM'd him that thing that just said, hey, your turn. And he did it. And then we just kept talking from there. At that time, he was stationed in California with the military. So we just became best friends. When he came back to the area, we started hanging out literally just as friends. And then a few months later, decided to start dating. And obviously we ended up getting married. Could you share more what it's like being a military wife? Ever since I have been dating and married to him, he's actually been in the reserves. So I haven't had to deal with any long deployments. The longest he's ever been away is 1 month, but basically every month he just leaves for a weekend. So it's not really that big of an adjustment. Honestly, I like having my time alone sometimes. So I feel like I haven't really had a true experience to being a military wife just because he is in the reserves right now and not active duty. Do you guys plan to have kids? Okay, this is exciting because I haven't talked about this at all on my channel, I don't think, but yes, we definitely want to have kids, and we're actually going to start family planning a little bit in the near future. Eventually down the line, I would love to have at least 2 to 3 kids. The amount of dishes that I've let pile up is absolutely insane, so I'm gonna knock these out really quick. So hard on myself when it comes to filming videos recently. So I feel like this one is just me letting go of all of that perfectionism and the pressure that I put on myself and just talking to you guys, which feels so nice. Also, I'm literally having terrible cramps right now because I started my period today. So I just took some medicine, fingers crossed it kicks in soon. Okay, the next category is mindset / mental health related. What do you do if you feel totally unmotivated to work out, read, journal, practically anything? That is such a good question. And honestly, I feel unmotivated so often. I've actually posted quite a few videos on this channel where I've just opened up and said, hey, like I'm feeling so unmotivated, but I'm gonna push through. I'm gonna do my healthy habits anyway. I think the biggest thing is remembering your why. So like, why exactly are you doing those things? Why do you wanna work out? Why do you wanna read? Why do you want to work on a side hustle like YouTube? I think understanding the reasons why you wanna do something can really motivate you to do it. So for instance, I wanna work out because I want to feel strong. I want to have more energy. I wanna journal because I've been able to get to know myself so much more. I love how it makes me feel. It reduces my stress. Understanding those reasons is a huge motivator. Another thing that I try to do is just focus on the feeling that I'll get from doing the thing. We are often driven by feelings. So if I can remember the feeling of completing a workout or the feeling after journaling or the feeling after going out on a walk, that can often motivate me to do it because I want to feel like that. But also keep in mind that it's so important to just give yourself a break. You don't have to do all of those things every day. So if you're feeling really unmotivated and you just want to have a break and relax one day, don't beat yourself up over it. Give yourself that time to just rest and relax and then jump back into the habits the next day. How do you get out of a ruminative thought cycle? I am a huge overthinker, so this definitely applies to me from time to time. Journaling helps so much. If I find myself constantly thinking and thinking about the same thing, I will try to do a complete brain dump on a piece of paper, write out everything that I'm thinking. Also choosing to fill my mind with other things, whether that's listening to a podcast or playing uplifting music or just repeating positive affirmations to myself, that can really help myself get out of that thought cycle. Someone asked about detachment. How do you let go of a person who sometimes shows they're interested in you and sometimes doesn't? That can definitely be such a hard situation. I think the biggest thing is reminding yourself that you can't control the other person, you can only control you, and just truly trusting that what's meant to be will be. If someone doesn't want to be in your life, then just let them go, because ultimately they're not going to uplift you or impact you positively because they don't want to be there in the first place. And if they are playing games with you like that, where sometimes they're interested in you and sometimes they're not, I feel like ultimately that's just playing with your emotions and that's kind of just being disrespectful to you. So I would definitely have a talk with them and kind of just get to the bottom of it. But if they continue to do that, then it might be good to maybe just let them go and just remember that you deserve to be treated with respect and with love. And if someone's not going to do that, then they don't deserve to be in your life anyway. How do you carve out time for yourself and stay grounded when your schedule is super busy? It's so hard. It truly, truly is so hard. With working a 9 to 5, doing YouTube on the side, and then also trying to spend quality time with my husband, it is so hard to make time for myself. But what I've found is that we all have little pockets of time throughout the day. For instance, everyone has 5 minutes here or 5 minutes there. And if you can throw in an act of self-care within those little pockets of time, it makes such a huge difference. So for instance, before I go to bed, I have an extra 5 minutes. So within that time, I can stretch. I can sit in front of my red light therapy device. I can journal. I can practice breath work. Whatever it is, even if it's in that little 5-minute period, it truly makes a difference. It truly makes me feel like I am taking time for myself. So I think just recognizing those little pockets of time that maybe we would have been on our phone, we can just spend on ourselves. And then also just scheduling in time with yourself is super important. I really try to focus on my habits. So by waking up every morning and journaling, or taking myself out to a coffee shop to do some work or journal at the coffee shop, those are things that I can do for myself. Those are ways that I can spend time with myself. I hope that makes sense and I hope that helps, but I know it's so hard to balance it all and make time for yourself when life is just so busy. But don't underestimate what you can do for yourself, even in a short, quick moment. Someone said, I'm curious about your worldview. What do you think our purpose in life is? This is such a deep question. If you guys don't know, I do believe in God. I am a Christian. So I think ultimately that is the root of my worldview. At least for me, I would say love God and love others. And that is the purpose of life. You guys, my night is like taking a turn because the cramps hurt so bad. I'm gonna answer a couple more questions before I shower. This category is more so like 9 to 5 / job related questions. What do you do for work? And can you tell us a little bit more about your job and what a typical day looks like? Another one was, please talk more about your job and what you do day to day. So I work as a closing agent at a tax advantaged real estate company. So when a lot of people hear closing agent, they think like residential real estate, but that's actually not what I do. So I basically work with big ticket investments, people who want to legally defer their taxes by doing something called a 1031 exchange. I am the person that drafts all of their closing documents. I send it out to the investors for signature. I talk with their qualified intermediary, which is the person that's holding their funds. But basically my day-to-day looks like sitting in front of a computer all day long, drafting a lot of documents, creating fund accounts in our system for them, sending out our documents through DocuSign, and just basically sending tons of emails so that the closing process can be smooth from start to finish. It's very tedious, it's very routine because it's the same process over and over again, but it can also be really stressful at times because sometimes I can handle up to like 20 or 30 files at a time, and each of them are at different stages in the closing process. But I've been there almost 4 years now, so I feel like I have it down pretty well, and I do pretty good at my job. It's just very boring for me. What about your job do you like that makes you want to stay? I like that we get Fridays remote. My coworkers are really nice. I like that it pays decently well. And I think because of all of those reasons, that is why I'm staying for the time being. Will you ever change jobs or go full-time to YouTube? That's the goal. I don't see myself working a 9 to 5 for too much longer. What is the most difficult thing about having a 9 to 5 job? Personally, because I have to go into an office, it's probably sitting behind a desk in a cubicle for 8 hours every day. That's really draining and difficult for me, but also just the lack of flexibility. I have strict hours that I have to work, and I'm not able to just go book a fitness class and leave during the day. I'm not able to just go and run an errand or go grocery shopping within the workday because they're very strict on you have to work during these hours, you have to be in the office. It's very almost micromanagey. Not having flexibility is really tough. What gets you through working a 9 to 5 knowing that's not where you want to be forever? That's a good question. I think knowing my game plan and knowing my long-term goals is what really helps me get through working the 9 to 5, because I know that the 9 to 5 life right now is just a stepping stone to get to where I want to be. I'm using my 9 to 5 life to basically provide for myself financially right now and kind of fund my side hustle, which is YouTube. But yeah, I mean, what gets me through it every day is just remembering the long-term goal and my plan for my future. Oh my gosh, the cramps. Oh, it hurts so bad. Oh my gosh. Okay. Last question in this category. Do you ever plan on going back to college? Honestly, no, I don't think so. So I have a bachelor's degree in psychology, and if you want to work in that field, you typically do need a post-grad degree. One, I don't really want to pay for college again, and also just, I think I've decided that even if I did go back and get another degree, I don't think that it would align with my future goals because I don't see myself in a traditional career moving forward. So for what I want to do, I don't think that a master's or doctorate degree would be necessary. Okay, I'm out of the shower. I'm about to put some skincare on, brush my hair, get ready for bed. But the next category of questions that I'm answering have to do with content creation and YouTube. Why did you decide to open a YouTube channel? I have loved YouTube for literally years. I got my first iPod Touch when I was around 12 years old, and I just remember watching YouTube ever since then. I watched all the OG creators like Alicia Marie, My Life is Ava, Aspen Ovard, all of those people. I loved watching their content, and through the years, I always thought to myself, it would be so cool to do that. I always knew that I wanted to start a channel, but I was way too scared to. Even throughout high school and college, I always thought about it, but I never really thought that I would start my channel. But then in 2022, I finally decided to. And I'm so happy that I decided to do that because it is something that I wanted to do my whole life. And I think if I never started, I would definitely look back years from now with regret, and I didn't want to live my life like that. What type of videos do you enjoy creating for us? What is your favorite form of content to vlog? Which do you prefer more, week in the life vlogs or day in the life vlogs? I really do love filming the week in the life vlogs because there's something so fun and special about taking you with me for every single day of the week rather than just showing one day. So I would say those are some of my favorite to film for sure, but they're also the hardest to edit because they're typically between 25 to 30-minute long videos. So editing takes me double the time with those than any other video. But yeah, I would say those are probably my favorite to film, or also any other vlog that has to do with building healthy habits or a reset routine. I also did a series on my channel where I did my winter arc challenge back in November and December of this past year, and I loved doing that. I definitely need to bring a challenge like that back on my channel. Please let me know if that's something that you'd want to see again. How long does it take to edit one of your vlogs? So long. And I don't know if it's because I'm just incredibly slow, or because I'm a perfectionist, or because Final Cut Pro on my laptop is slow, but it probably takes me between 12 to 15 hours of video to edit. But I'm so glad that I've been working with my editor since last year. She edits about half of the videos each month for me, and that has been such a game changer. And it's actually allowed me to post longer videos on my channel because when I do the week in my life vlogs, I can now spend the 2 weeks needed to edit that video instead of having to edit a video every single week, because I can just send her a video to edit, which is literally so helpful. But yes, long story short, it's about 12 to 15 hours per video. What are your biggest goals with your content? I hope that one day I can kind of make this my full-time thing, but I think my biggest goal with YouTube is to just build this community here and inspire people. I want to make a positive impact on people's lives. I want people to realize that they can do whatever they set their mind to. I want to inspire people to dream big. So I think that's my biggest goal with my content, is to just hopefully change someone's life and impact someone in a positive way. How did you start getting into brand deals when you first started? So I got my first sponsored brand deal when I had around 3,000 YouTube subscribers. Basically, I put my business email in all of my description boxes and in my bios so that if a brand ever wants to contact me, they know how to find me. Honestly, I didn't really reach out to any brands. I kind of just let them come to me. I'm so fortunate to be able to work with such cool brands. I remember the very first sponsorship I ever got was with Vankyo, which is a movie projector brand. And that was so special because one of the first gifts that I ever gave Caleb when we were just dating was a Vankyo movie projector. So it felt like, I don't know, it just came full circle when they wanted to work with me for a video. But yeah, I mean, if you have a YouTube channel and you're looking to start working with brands, definitely just keep posting consistently, keep posting high quality content, and keep your email in your description boxes and your bio so that they know where to find you. If you're comfortable sharing a range, can you please share your total earnings from social media? And this includes AdSense, brand deals, etc. I got you. Currently, as I'm filming this, I have a little over 21,000 subscribers, and my average view count on each video is around 10K. So with that being said, obviously the amount that I make each month changes, but on the lower range, I would say, on the lower range, I make around $1,100 a month from YouTube. This includes AdSense and brand deals. I work a minimum of 20 hours a week on YouTube related stuff. So that would be 80 hours a month. So if you take $1,100 divided by 80 hours, then I'm making $13.75 an hour. The higher end of my earnings per month could be around $1,500. And if you take that divided by $80, then I would be making $18.75 an hour. But like I said, the 20 hours a week is the very minimum. I would say it's more realistic for me to work around 30 hours a week, maybe even 35. So say I'm working 30 hours a week, that would be 120 hours a month. So if I make $1,500 a month on the higher end, divided by 120 hours that month, that would be $12.50. So as you can see, it's definitely not a sustainable source of income yet. I'm definitely not making that much per hour when you actually break it down. Obviously, when I first started, I was posting every week, putting so many hours in, and I wasn't making a single dollar. So it's so cool that I'm able to actually make any money from it now. All right, I have a few more questions that I want to answer, just kind of rapid fire before I go to bed. I have a category of fitness and routines. Are you still enjoying the home gym? Yes, I can't believe it's in my house. Like, I'm so grateful for it. I haven't been working out as consistently, but I definitely still work out in there at least once a week, and I love it so much. When and how did you start with meal prep? So I actually don't meal prep, but I meal plan, which means that I basically come up with a plan Monday through Friday night of what we're gonna eat for dinner. And I literally just write this in my notes app. I first started because I found that I would waste a ton of time after work standing in the pantry, staring at the items in the fridge, trying to figure out what to eat. So I figured if on Sundays or Mondays, I just write down everything that we're gonna eat for dinner Monday through Friday, it would save me a lot of time, and it definitely does. I thought about meal prepping, but I really just don't have a huge chunk of time on Sundays to do that for the week, so meal planning is the next best thing for me. Any productivity or habit tips you have? Always write a to-do list. A daily one, a weekly one, whatever it is you need to do, just write down all of those things. Also, setting timers on my phone helps me stay productive. If I need to edit or clean, I can just set a timer and it helps me stay on track. For habits, I definitely recommend keeping a habit tracker. It makes me want to do them when I can check off the habits, and then I can actually see how many times I'm actually doing them. Finding an accountability buddy can really help. Honestly, with filming YouTube videos, that helps me stay productive and it helps me stick to my habits because I know that you guys can keep me accountable. I got some questions related to travel. If you could go on a dream vacation, what would it be and why? I would love to go to Greece. I would also love to go to Italy and Bora Bora. Pretty much all of those places just because they look so beautiful. Someone's asking if I'm going to make travel vlogs, like going to Europe, Asia. I would love to travel more and it would be fun to vlog that, but honestly, I don't know how well those videos would do since I don't post a lot of travel vlogs on my channel. So if that's something you'd want to see, please let me know. But also because I work a 9 to 5, I have very limited PTO, so I'm not able to just go travel wherever. And then when I do travel, it's typically a vacation like once a year. And at that point, I don't really want to film. I just want to relax and put my phone away. But travel vlogs one day would be really cool. How do you save for your travel vlog? I think the only travel vlog I've ever done is my New York City trip. And so I'm assuming they're referencing that video, but I don't know. I've always been really good with money. I'm not the biggest spender. So we always just make sure to put some money away from each paycheck that we make. And honestly, I would rather spend money on trips than things. The last category is like fun and creative questions. What are some of your hobbies that you enjoy doing in your free time? Honestly, you guys have seen them in the vlogs, but I like to journal. I love to play volleyball. I do that once a week. I also like to play pickleball from time to time. I do enjoy coloring and reading. But yeah, I don't always have a ton of time for hobbies, but when I do, those are my go-tos. If your life were a TV show, what would the current season be called and who would be the villain? That is literally such a good question. The first thing that comes to mind is stuck in the middle. I don't know. I feel like I am kind of in an in-between stage of life right now, and I'm just trying to figure things out. I'm trying to figure out what I want out of life and what I want to do. And I kind of feel like I'm just in limbo right now. And who would be the villain? I don't know, probably my thoughts of self-doubt that come up from time to time, I would say would definitely be the villain. And the last question is, if you were a character in a book, who would you be and what would the title of your book be? So it's kind of similar to that last question. I would be the protagonist. I would be a girl who is putting herself out of her comfort zone, pushing herself to try new things and become a better person, and going on little adventures that basically, get her out of her comfort zone and challenge her to grow. And the title of that book, I have no idea. Do it anyway. I don't know. I feel like that would be more of a nonfiction book. I don't know. I'm so bad at coming up with that. So if you know a good title of a book about that girl, drop it in the comments below. Anyway, you guys, that is it for this video. I am going to head to bed. It is currently 10:36 and I have to wake up for work tomorrow around 6:30-ish. I feel like this was such a chill, low-key vlog, and I don't know, I enjoyed spending time with you guys. Thank you for being here. I literally love you so much. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.